An American citizen robbed blind by our own federal government. 64-year-old Rustim Kazazi had more than $58,000, his entire life savings, confiscated by U.S. Customs at the Cleveland airport. It was the result of a controversial practice that is called civil asset forfeiture. He still doesn't have the money back, despite never being charged with any crime in any of this. Trace Gallagher is live in our West Coast newsroom tonight to explain. Hi, Trace.
Hi, Martha. Here's how prevalent civil asset forfeiture is in the U.S. Last year, federal authorities seized more than $2 billion in assets. That's about the same amount that U.S. citizens lose in residential burglaries each year. But when the government takes your money and property, you don't have to be convicted of a crime or even charged with a crime. You simply have to be suspected of wrongdoing. For example, in the case of Rustim Kazazi, U.S. Customs and Border Protection believes he was involved in either smuggling, drug trafficking, or money laundering, though CPB has offered no evidence to support those allegations. The agency has released a statement saying that when Mr. Kazazi made his way through airport security in Cleveland, quoting, TSA agents discovered artfully concealed U.S. currency. Mr. Kazazi provided inconsistent statements regarding the currency, had no verifiable source of income, and possessed evidence of structuring activity. That's where you make deposits and withdrawals of less than $10,000 to avoid the banks from notifying the Department of Treasury. But the family says there was no artful deception. The money was wrapped in paper and placed in his carry-on, and that any inconsistent statements were because of his poor English. Kazazi is a retired police officer from Albania. He and his family came to the U.S. in 2005 through the Visa Lottery program and became U.S. citizens in 2010. Last fall, Kazazi planned a trip back to his home country to see family and potentially to buy a vacation home. He claims he took the $58,000 in cash because he does not trust the Albanian banking system. When he got to the airport in Cleveland, Kazazi says not only was his money confiscated, he was subjected to a humiliating strip search. But under asset forfeiture laws, it's incumbent upon Mr. Kazazi to prove that he's not up to something nefarious, which is why he has now filed a lawsuit to get back his $58,000. Martha.
Story. Trace, thank you so much. So here now with more, Rustim's son, Errol Kazazi. Errol, thank you very much for being with us tonight. First of all, what was your dad doing with his entire life savings in his carry-on luggage?
He was planning on taking care of some problems with our former home in Albania that was in dire need of repairs. And him and my mother had always dreamed of purchasing a vacation home on the coast there so they could vacation there when they retire.
So he's bringing all his money over. He's got it wrapped in paper in the bag. They say that it was concealed in an odd way, that they suspected that he might be guilty of some kind of smuggling or drug trafficking or money laundering. Has he ever been involved with any kinds of those activities ever?
Absolutely not. Those accusations are completely baseless. The fact that they even had to list 4 of them without being clear on which one they're trying to say kind of makes this all even more confusing. There's no evidence because none of that ever happened.
So what happened when he was talking to them? Because they say that he gave inconsistent statements, and that was what sort of opened the door for them to confiscate his money under what's known as civil asset forfeiture. And as you heard Trace Gallagher say, they've taken $2 billion that way recently.
I think what happened with them making the claims for inconsistent statements was maybe them not being able to understand his poor English. If they had bothered to contact a translator or even a family member, they could have tried reaching out to me or my mother so we could translate for him. They wouldn't have had any of those issues.
Did he request a translator?
Yes, he did several times.
It's unbelievable that he was denied. What is your family doing now? What's your legal recourse?
Right now, we filed a motion for return of property, and since CBP has missed their deadlines for court action, we're expecting the money back, but we haven't heard anything from them. They took the money in October 24th, 2017, and it's been a painful process to deal with since then.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, how frustrating has it been, excuse me, how frustrating has it been trying to deal with the government, trying to tell them your story, and trying to make your case?
Oh, we tried reaching out to them in the beginning, and the only options they gave us were that you would receive a letter that would list 4 options, whether you choose to abandon the money, make an offer and compromise where you let them keep part of it. You could go through an administrative petition, which is the process that CBP does to negotiate with them, or you could request court action.
So what's the impact on your family of the loss of this money?
That's devastating. He had plans to, for the home to make repairs in Albania. He had utilities and bills to pay over there. He wanted to look at a few homes on the Adriatic coast and decide which one to get for retirement, and he wasn't able to do any of that. What makes this even worse is we had relatives that would have needed help because they were having health issues, and he wasn't even able to help any of them. Instead, he had to ask relatives there to help him be able to afford food and health care while he was in Albania for 6 months without any of his life savings.
When do you expect to hear the next steps on this?
I'm hoping very soon. CBP has to return the money at this point. We've done nothing wrong.
Incredible.
And they can't. Yeah.
It's quite a story. Thank you very much for telling it to us, and we'll keep an eye on it. Let us know. Keep us updated, Harold, if you would. We'd appreciate it. Thank you very much for being here tonight.
Yes, thank you.